What's up, family? I hope y'all are doing well out there, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are, however you are. I hope you're well. I know this world's crazy. It's pretty strange. It's kind of weird nowadays. But it's been that way for a while. It's just, yeah, y'all know what it is. So today we're gonna talk about the third, the fourth, and the fifth dimension because I think, in my opinion, it's one of the most important things that we can cover. And I'm gonna give y'all tangible things that you can actually apply, not just some woo shit for you to just speculate on. This isn't some regurgitated TikTok theory or nothing. This is straight from my truth, and my truth is from the source. I ain't gonna cap. But let's get to it. So, okay. So the third dimension, y'all know what's up. And if y'all have seen some of my videos, y'all can go and y'all know some of this stuff already. But this is to kind of hammer it in. But yeah, if you haven't, please check out some of my other videos. There's a lot of good stuff there. But let's get to it. So the third dimension, we are here, right? It is our realm that we are communicating to each other within right now, right? It is the now, the here is what you feel. It's what we're stuck in, or it's not stuck in, but you're kind of bound to the rules here, right? You can only be in one place at a time. You gotta breathe in order to stay here, right? You gotta eat, you have to drink, you have to sleep, you gotta pee, you gotta poop, you gotta do a number of things, and that's just naturally, right? On the human world side, there's a lot of other things we have to do to play the game. But because they're kind of exploiting the fact that we're here on the third, and there's certain rules that we have to kind of abide by, such as time and space and so forth. But let's get to it. So the fourth dimension, that is the mental plane, as some people call the astral plane, astral projection, all that stuff, all happens in the fourth dimension. A lot of negative and evil energies can reside. They reside in the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is the mind. The mind is over matter. 4 is over 3. The fourth dimension is one level above this on the pyramid. If you look at this out, right down here, we got the whole third dimension. You take one step up, we got the mental plane. That's why your head, your brain is literally at the very top of your whole fucking being. Mind over matter, quite literally, right? And then above that, we have the fifth dimension, the spiritual plane, right? This is where everything truly stems from. That's below it. There's planes above that as well, but I'm only going to go to cover these 3 right now, just because it's the most relevant to our situation right now. So the fifth dimension is your spiritual plane. It is where you exist, where you have never died. There's an aspect of you that never died and never will die. It is the side of you that we us here on earth, we think this is all there is to it. When you're alive, you are walking around on earth doing earth shit until the day that you die, and there's no other type of existence outside of that. There's no type of reality outside of just what a human experiences, which is completely wrong. We're looking at it the opposite way. This here, us in our forms right now, these are like our little avatar forms for our self that doesn't die. We have a self that does not die. It has infinite energy, almost like a sun, right? It is alive, it is well, it is powerful, it is mighty, it is your super self, it is your super consciousness, it is your super intelligence, it is your consciousness that is talking to you, that's telling you, hey, do this, hey, don't do that, hey, get up, hey, chill out, hey, this, hey, that, right? And it's always giving you the best advice. It's always putting you in the right direction, because there is a side of you that has never died. But it's not unwise. Us here as humans, we are very arrogant with our own knowledge and our own intelligence in a lot of ways. Now, let's get into it. Let's talk about how these 3 interact with one another. So here on the third, like I mentioned, there's a lot of things that we're kind of bound by, a lot of rules. We have to be in one place at a time. Now in the fourth dimension, those rules change in our minds, right? You're not bound by the now, but you can pretty much go anywhere but now. Like when you're thinking, you are thinking about something that happened before, thinking about something that's about to happen. You're thinking about what you're about to do. You may not even be conscious about it, but you might be thinking about somebody else. And a lot of times, the way your mind works, it doesn't exist in the now. You can't just put your mind in one place. Somebody can't be like, hey, you know what? Think about the being inside of a box. Okay, now keep thinking about being inside of a box. Yeah, I got you now. As long as you think about being inside of a box, you're gonna be inside of a box. Your brain doesn't work that way. Your brain can't even stay on one track for too long. You can now put your body, your physical vessel, inside of a box. You're going to be in that box until that box is opened, right? You're going to be inside of that box until those physical properties are changed. Mentally, it is not the same. You can be locked up inside of a box physically, but your mind can literally go anywhere you want. You can think about anything you want. You can think about, how did I get into this fucking box, right? And on the fifth dimension, you're not even there. On the fifth dimension, you're in the spirit. You're in a superposition. You're nowhere and everywhere at the same time. The fifth dimension is the now that expands across the future and the past, right? Like some interstellar shit, right? On the fifth dimension, it is you're beyond the limits of what anybody else says, because you are quite literally experiencing this from the creator, or closer to being the creator of it, right? So the fifth dimensional self is kind of like the great grandfather or grandmother who's done it all and can look at all of their grandkids and look at different aspects of themselves within those grandkids and be like, oh yeah, that was me when I was being a little brat, or hey, I remember I could have been like that if I would have did this, or boom, 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 da, 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 da. Your fifth dimensional self kind of gets to live, create experiences vicariously through the different third dimensional aspects that it gets to express itself through. Just like a video game, you play a video game, hey, you got different characters saved. That's what your higher self is doing, because that is how it learns, that's how it grows. It goes into these planes to sense, to be real, to be in the now, and to experience what it means to be in the now, right? To actually feel physical pain or hurt or suffering, or or the flavor of something, to understand the knowledge of, oh, what actually is that? What does a grape taste like? And then the same thing with, like, different animals and so forth, right? In order for me to see a bird or experience an animal here, to see a deer, right? If I see a deer, I zoom in, there's a deer here. There was a deer earlier, but I had to make the video again. But like, if you see a deer here, that deer needs parents, it needs to eat, it needs to sleep, it needs to do all the things that I talked about earlier in order for it to exist here. On the spiritual plane, you do not need that. You do not need all of these energy transfers in order for this thing to exist, because the essence is there. The symbolism, it is the symbol of the deer. If you see a deer here in the physical, hey, guess what? I just saw a deer. What does it mean? I don't know. I just saw a deer. Cool. If you have a dream, you see a deer, hey, what does it mean? I don't know. It was a dream. So it probably has some meaning to it, right? On the spiritual plane, I saw a spiritual looking deer. Wonder what that means, right? So it's about the meaning, right? It's not about the actual label. You can call a deer 20 different languages, 20 different things here on the physical plane, because that's how we're kind of divided up. But if you show somebody, all these people with different languages, if you just show them an image of it, they're all going to recognize what that is. Oh, that's a deer. Hey, that's a crocodile, right? Whatever language that they may see, but the image is all you need. The image is the symbol. It is provides the anchor point, right? It is the actual expression. So depending on what you see, if you look at a crocodile, hey, you might have a different emotional reaction to that crocodile than somebody else, right? Somebody who grew up around crocodiles, hey, it's not a big deal. Somebody who didn't, hey, they might panic at the sight of a crocodile, right? And that's kind of what we're doing here on the physical plane, because of the fear, right? It is the emotional attachment to the mental plane, right? So the mental, you see something, right? It's happening in the mental, right? You see that crocodile, right? Or you can just envision a crocodile. Oh my God, I got scared. Why? I just imagined a crocodile coming out of this water and getting me right now. Because the emotion is tied to the mental, right? The mental, you're seeing this thing, but it's about how you mentally, what mean, right? Mean mental. It's like what it means to you. That simple, right? Oh, I saw a crocodile. Oh, I'm about to react in a certain way, fight or flight, right? Now, if you're coming from a different aspect, especially from the fifth dimension, when you're in that fifth dimension, you've transcended the fear. You transcended all of the emotional attachment to certain things that cause you to create that separation between you and what's outside of you. Now, here on the physical, we're still in this space where, oh, stop, if something hurts me, I'm hurt. I lose my arm, You know what I mean? I don't get that back. It's not like you're playing by the same rules. Same thing like Mario. Whenever he takes a mushroom and he gets like Super Mario, guess what? You can't touch him, right? Whenever he takes his little star, guess what? Can't touch him. Star, fifth dimension, 5 points. Star, super, all the S's, star power, celebrity. That's what consciously, that's what you are. Star projecting as a third dimensional being here. It's like a shadow of a star. You're like the shadow of a star here, right? You have a physical shadow and two-dimensional, like a black shadow, right? That's like anyways, let me like too far off. But anyways, what I'm saying is that these your different aspects of yourself operate from different things, from different planes. Your fifth dimensional self does not think about death. It doesn't worry about death because it knows ultimately its truth is that it doesn't die. Here we think about death because we know that's a certain law of what we are. But when you become fully attached to reintegrate it with your higher self in your fourth dimensional self, in your third dimensional self, you're like me, myself, and I, or whatever. You're able to then transcend just this experience here because a lot of people are still caught up in just the laws of here, and they live as a